Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler, and I am live in San Francisco, California, and coming to you again with bad news. The last time I did one of these late night things, The Expanse was getting canceled, but now Mr. Robot apparently is ending after season 4, and this is a bummer. But the big difference is it's not getting canceled; it's going out on its own terms. So, real quick, let's get to the article from Den of Geek. And the news hit earlier today. I did have a video. We usually do everything live. I did record a video, had it in the can, and decided, I should keep to my promise of doing everything live. So here we go. And again, this will be a short one. Mr. Robot likely to end with season 4. Goodbye, friend. Christian Slater says that we're about to get our last dose of Mr. Robot. It looks like the dark and spacious world of Mr. Robot will collapse in on itself one final time with the upcoming 4th season. Sam Esmail and his band of writers are currently fleshing out a surreal new trip for the fractured computer whiz Elliot Alderson, with Rami Malek confirmed to return to the endlessly fascinating dystopian hacker series along with co-star Christian Slater. Christian Slater had been chatting to Collider about his new film, The Wife, and in the interview, he flagged up a runtime error. Oh, bad. For one of our favorite shows. It seems that this will be the end for F Society. Yeah, season 4, and I believe it will be the last season. Show creator Sam Esmail always said it was going to be somewhere in that zone. He didn't want to go further with that he could creatively contribute to the storyline. So I think that season 4 will be it. I think they're in the writer's room as we speak, putting it all together, but I have no idea what it's going to be or if I'm going to be floating in and out of scenes. I have no idea. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, says Christian Slater. My spirit brother, by the way. I'll explain that after I'm done reading the article. Filming on season 4 is set to get underway in November. So we finally have word. Haven't heard a peep out of anybody about the show. So yeah, filming is going to start in November, but Mr. Robot creator Esmail has yet to back up Slater's comments about the conclusion of the series. The hit drama has been a critical win for the USA Network since the beginning, with Malek and Slater having received numerous award nominations, including an Emmy win for Malek as Best Actor in 2016. Well deserved, by the way. Christian Slater should have won as well for Best Supporting Actor, but the Emmys are a joke. We all know that. Portia Doubleday, Carly Chaikin, Martin Wallstrom, Grace Goomer, Michael Christopher, the great B.D. Wong, and the equally great Bobby Cannavale are all coming back for a possible shutdown. Don't delete me. We'll bring you more as we get it. And so will we here at the Nerdrotic channel. It's kind of a bummer. This show it's amazing it's lasted this long, actually, considering it breaks all the rules. For longevity, you don't really want to have a show that has data material. This, came out right around the time of Occupy and where Anonymous started rising up, at least getting into the mind of the popular culture. And it really created its own world. It went beyond that. And that's why it's special. In that way, it's a lot like The Matrix. Usually anything hacker gets super dated. Okay. So they've done a great job in world building in this and evolving the show and making it work. And it's surreal. It's trippy. It deals with consciousness, time, perception. Hell, there might even be time travel in the show. We don't know. It is getting a bit sci-fi with the whole Chinese government working on some project in Africa. It's been groundbreaking TV. All the episodes are directed by Sam Esmail, which True Detective season 1 had the same director too. I think more shows should do that. You get a consistency and quality, and it feels like a cohesive story. It's a beautifully shot show. It's one of the best written shows on TV. I saw Sam Esmail with my co-host Dennis at Comic-Con this year, and he was talking about his new show Homecoming with Julia Roberts. And I'm not the biggest fan of Julia Roberts, but I'm going to watch the show because he's involved. It looks trippy, but honestly, I have no idea what it's about. We saw a trailer which told us nothing. But you could tell that the writing was on the wall because he didn't mention Mr. Robot. He had been clearly working on the show, and that was all he was talking about. So it really showed us that nothing was really happening with Mr. Robot. So it's good to see that it's going into filming here in a couple months, but that's going to put it out at the earliest mid 2019, which puts it almost 2 full years after season 3. And season 3 ended on like the worst cliffhanger. Like it was total defeat. So, they're going to have to wrap it up in 10. Hopefully they get more than 10 episodes, but if they do, that's fine. I was kind of hoping it would go 5 seasons. But again, I'm glad it's going out on its own terms. It's still a total bummer. And, maybe there's a chance to save the show. Maybe that's why Christian Slater brought this up in the interview. Maybe it's a dog whistle of sorts, to like a call to arms to get people to start talking about it, like watch the hell out of it, rewatch it, and start bringing it up and show that there's still a lot of support, so we can maybe at least get a 5th season out of it. I'm kind of hoping. I don't know. We'll see. We can work on some hashtags later, like keep Mr. Robot or bring back Mr. Robot or don't delete Mr. Robot. I kind of like that one. Don't delete Mr. Robot. We'll see. We'll see what happens as time goes on. But yeah, this is a bummer. And with so many shows have been delayed till 2019 or late this year, and I think a lot of that has to do with the changing times in Hollywood with streaming. Everybody working on streaming networks, all the buyouts. It has delayed a lot of shows. We already had to deal with the delay of Westworld. Game of Thrones, of course, got delayed. Thankfully, Star Trek Discovery got delayed a little bit. Yeah, most of the shows we cover are getting pushed back. And a lot of Taboo. We haven't heard a damn thing about Taboo. So that's another thing with these short form shows, which are like 10 to 13 episodes. This might start to become a thing where they maybe take a year and a half off between between seasons. I don't think that's a great idea. That really hurt Ash versus Evil Dead. And it did hurt Westworld quite a bit. You lose your flow, your creative flow with that. And, I think it's a problem, but we'll see. You got to blame Netflix and Amazon and Hulu for that. But Mr. Robot, which is a show that really belongs on one of those streaming networks now, it's amazing that it's been this good on USA. Not to totally put down USA Network. They put out some good stuff, but like this is really a different groundbreaking show that I don't want to go away. There's not enough good television out there and great writing. So, I'm glad Sam Esmail's on another show. And Rami Malek has, turned into a huge star. He's the Queen movie is coming out. I can't wait for that. He's brilliant. And it's good to see, again, my spirit brother, Christian Slater, make a comeback. Always dug the dude. So we were born, we share a birthday, but we were born in the same year. So yeah, August 18th, birthday's coming up. We're both going to be 49. Shit. So, hey, I don't know if anybody's here with me in the chat. I did see Tarka Jedi, and I also saw Jordan Bain 23 and Talim 29 and DLS Master. And how's your father? Remember the robot. That's good. And Mako, thank you so much and Dina McCones. Wow, there's a lot of people here. Oh my goodness, this is great. So yeah, this is going to be a short video. We'll try to keep this between the 15-20 minute realm or something like that. This is essentially a recorded video. And again, I'm repeating myself, but I had one in the can, but I like talking to you guys. I'm here because this show is wild and a stream is always fun, says Tarka Jedi. There you go. This is my favorite show. I've seen a lot of these the last few years, and it's absolutely number one. Season 3 cemented that. Episode 5 specifically, which is Kill Process. I don't want it to end, says Jordan Bain 23. Yeah, Kill Process was all shot pretty much in one cut. It was a spectacular episode of television and probably the best single episode of television I've seen, maybe this side of Hard Home from Game of Thrones, but I immediately rewatched it afterwards, after we did our recap. And of course, we recap all of season 3 of Mr. Robot. You can see it here in the channel if you care to go back and check it out. We will be covering every episode of season 4, and that's mainly what we do here. We recap television. They're all visceral reviews. They're 15 to 20 minutes after the show airs. Sometimes on the West Coast, sometimes on the East Coast. It depends on we get the feed here on the West Coast. So Birdman is my favorite movie at the moment, right in front of Fight Club. So this show was perfect for me. And then episode 5 happened and it blew me away. Those are two. Fight Club is my favorite all-time movie, period. So it's right there with me. It's Fight Club meets The Matrix. And again, the way the show plays with, perception and consciousness, I love that stuff. And, I really want to know the answer. Like, what is Mr. Robot? Who is he really part of Elliot's consciousness, or is he something else? They've alluded to that a little bit in the show. And, the standout performances, Portia Doubleday as Angela Moss, her downward spiral has been beautifully tragic to watch. And her performance is beyond brilliant. BD Wong as White Rose, homeboy from San Francisco. He's in it just in little bits and pieces, but he owns the screen when he does that. And Bobby Cannavale, or I'm not sure if I'm saying his last name right, as Irving last season was, oh my God, it was sick. It was so sick. You could see that guy just boiling throughout the entire season. And when he finally let loose on that one guy with an axe, it was a brutal season, but just a brilliant season. I can't believe the show is not going to get at least 5 seasons, says Tarka Jedi. Yeah, it's kind of sad. Dennis and I, when we first reviewed it, we weren't sure like how we knew we loved the show, but we're like, I don't know how the normies are going to like this. And, the normies do run the world, but they love it. And, it gets decent ratings. But I think, all the shooting delays due to, Rami Malek, thankfully getting a lot of work that he deserves. Hopefully we see him in a lot more stuff. But I think that had something to do with it. And, it's going to be, it's going to be a year, or maybe 9 months till we get season 4. This is actually good news for me. 4 seasons is a very good number, and it makes sure it doesn't go too long and gets boring and stretched out. Mako, I will agree with you there. I would say the way the story has unfolded so far, Mako, I think 5 seasons would have been perfect. I think they're going to have to wrap a lot of stuff up in season 4. So hopefully they get a couple extra episodes, but you're right. If this one went 7 and 8, it would just get ridiculous. There's no way Elliot could live that long. Especially like if he completely relapse on drugs or, and that's another thing, as a grateful recovering addict, man, do they get the drugs right in this show. Somebody has a lot of experience with that. Another brilliant show dies. Yep. And we keep getting more Star Trek discoveries and stuff like that. Good point that the show is daring and how it broke with the serialized ho-hum of the lame stream. Thank goodness we saved the Expanse. Yes, Tarka Jedi, that is right. And Sam Esmail, of course, directed every episode. True Detective season 1 did that. More shows need to do that. I love that. I mean, it's it's obviously hard, but the only other show with this level of consistency is Vikings, with every single episode is written by the same writer. That's brilliant, and I've got to check out Vikings. I also put this show in the realm of Legion, okay, which is pretty much completely controlled by Noah Hawley, who I would put up, if there was a Mount Rushmore of Hollywood right now, I would put Noah Hawley and Sam Esmail on it. There's a couple more spaces that we could fill. Put Ronald D. Moore up there for sure. Remember the Robot. That's right. 1.5 years is too long, says Dina McCombs. Yes. Between seasons, it takes it out of the consciousness, and especially with the way we consume media these days, especially with Netflix dropping the entire show at once, and everybody just gobbles it up, and then it gets forgotten about a couple weeks, especially if it's not good. I mean, if it's good, like Altered Carbon or Daredevil season 1, people talk about it, but if it's not, if it's The Defenders, it gets or Iron Fist season 1. It gets forgotten about in 72 hours. I didn't think Mr. Robot got canceled. It's a cheap show. I don't think Mr. Robot got canceled. It's a cheap show. It got an Emmy for US Network. This is probably how the story ends with season 4. Mako, yeah, that's it. They're going out on their own terms. This is, Battlestar Galactica is a great example of a show that went 4 seasons, and they saw the writing on the wall, and they're like, let's end it on our own terms before the network ends it for us, and we have to rush an ending. Like Ash vs. Evil Dead season 3, which was a tragedy. Still a good season of television, but not what season 1 and 2 were. I have watched Mr. Robot 3 times, and I listen to the soundtrack daily. This is my kind of show. Says, okay, I'm gonna have to say this slowly so I don't completely butcher your name. Yukaya Itachi. Did I do okay? I'm usually pretty bad with that stuff. Sorry. But thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. Hashtag you hack people or I hack time, says Tarka Jedi. Mr. Robot speaks almost to me. It says Yukaya Itachi. Yeah. So, yeah, Mako, it's what Christian Slater it did. Now this it said in the article, it hasn't been confirmed by Sam Esmail, but Christian Slater is a producer on the show. So if he says, I think it's ending in season 4, it's either ending in season 4 or it's on a serious bubble right now, and he's putting it out there so people like us can write, can do YouTube videos and write articles. And if you love the show and you have a YouTube channel, do a video. Like that would help. If we show them the support, then they'll all find a way to keep it going. Even if I'd be willing to wait while everybody else does their movies and stuff to get a season 5 to wrap it up, as long as you don't take too long. Yeah, only 1 season left, Tony H. Or is it Tony H with an H? I don't know. In season 4, I really want to see more moments of Mr. Robot and Elliot interacting with each other. I missed those surreal moments in season 2 when they battled for control. I want trippy filming. Yeah. Jordan Bain 23, that episode, was it the 6th one where they do the 90s episode? I forgot what it was called. But the one where he meets Alf, that was so brilliant. A lot of people were kind of down on season 2. I wasn't. The ending was a bit rough. It was a bit rough. Rubicon Alpha, what is up? Good morning, evening. How's it going? And Feisty Fan is up. Hello, Feisty. How are you? How's it going? We're talking about Mr. Robot. We're talking about it ending in season 4, and it's a late night. I should have done this a lot earlier, but I didn't. So it's okay. A lot of people in Europe can be watching this live, or night owls here on the West Coast, or people waking up in the morning can catch it when it turns into a video. And we're going to be wrapping up pretty soon here. I just got the notifications, as Dakota Stanton. Yeah, that was probably my fault because I started one video and then something happened. I had to delete it and start another one. How's it going, Dakota? How's it going? Nigel Brought Savage waves his cast iron frying pan in hello. Okay, let's get down to some chat here. And yeah, I'm sorry if I skip anybody, but I do have to end this in a few minutes because everybody in the house is asleep, even the dogs. What was rough about the ending? It was awesome, says Toy. Yeah, it was an awesome ending, but it was just rough, at the end of season 2. Spoilers, when Elliot got shot, and we all knew he wasn't going to die. Okay, but it was still rough. It was rough to see, but it was good. It was great, but not rough in a bad way. And it's 8 a.m. where Nigel Brought Savage. Where are you? Yeah, yes, I am up late. I have the day off tomorrow. Feisty. It's my birthday day off, even though tomorrow technically is not my birthday, but I have to work Saturday. So I decided to take Friday off. Got to go to work in 30 minutes, Nigel. Well, that's brilliant. I will send you off to work in a horrible mood because Mr. Robot's ending. No, hopefully, we'll at least get one more season. And if we show our support, maybe we'll get a 5th. Dakota Stanton says he's doing pretty good. You're up late too. And so are you, Feisty. But I know you're a night owl. I may still be gaming. I worked on my birthday, yeah, and I'm working on mine. Rough in not a bad way. Gary B 2018. Yep. Always late, but worth the wait. The Nerdrotic channel. That's right. So we will talk about this a lot more on our Friday night podcast. So if you're watching this as a video, we do every Friday night at 8 p.m. Pacific time. We do a 2 to 3 hour live stream where we talk about whatever you want to talk about. So if you're watching this on August 17th, it's August 16th for another minute. Then it's going to be August 17th. Join us at 8 o'clock, and we will be talking a lot more with Susan and Dennis about Mr. Robot. This is big news for us. This is one of the biggest shows we cover on our channel. This show helped build our channel. We got a ton of subs for Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot fans are brilliant. We broke down the episodes as best as we could. Some of our theories were complete trash, and some of them were right on. So, Buster's Malhart on Netflix. I'm a spam, so everyone sees it. It's great. That's okay. You ain't spamming. It's all good. You can shout out here. I can't make the live cast on Friday. It's D&D, but you can listen. Is Mr. Robot on Hulu? I'm a cord cutter, so I don't have USA Network. I believe it is Rubicon Alpha. I believe it is. I'm a cord cutter as well. But I'm pretty sure it's on Hulu. Or is it on Netflix? I'm not sure, but you guys can Google that. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. If you have not seen it, it is, if you're a fan of Legion, if you're a fan of good television, great writing, if you like True Detective, if you like The Matrix, if you like Fight Club, it is for you. It is definitely for you. Dungeons and Drag Queens, that kind of D&D. Hulu is a brand of crisps here in the UK. It is. Crisps, aren't those cookies? What's a crisp? Is that a cracker? Nigel, isn't a crisp a cracker? I forgot now. It's been a while since I watched Doctor Who. So, all right, everybody, I'm going to wrap it up here. This is a good time to wrap it up. Dakota Stanton, Nigel brought Savage, Feisty Fan, Dakota, I'm not going to say that again. Rubicon Alpha, Jordan Bain, 23. Taleem 29. I thank everybody in the chat, by the way. DLS Master, Tony H or Thony H. I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I screwed up your name there. Yukaya Itachi, Dina McCombs. Good to see you. Thank you all for joining me late for the recording of this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. We're creeping up to 5,000 subscribers. That's all I want for my birthday on Saturday. 5,000 subs. And yeah, let's find a hashtag. I kind of like the hashtag Don't Delete Mr. Robot, but maybe it's because I thought of it. If you think of a better one, that's totally cool. Tell your friends to watch the show, and maybe we can squeeze out a 5th season. If not, it's cool. It's all right. And everybody, remember to wish Christian Slater a happy birthday on Saturday. He looks great for his age. And he was born on a very good day. And shout out to all the Leos out there. All the Leos. So everybody, you have a great night. And remember and remember to go to nerdrotic.com. I brain farted right there. My own website. Nerdrotic.com has the schedule to all of our live streams, and we schedule everything a week out. We're covering Castle Rock. We're covering Venture Brothers. Castle Rock's really good. Really, really good. We're covering Preacher, which is having a great 3rd season. And of course, we're covering Better Call Saul, which is also having a great 4th season. So 4 kick-ass shows going on right now that we are covering. So please check them out. May the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Ciao, everybody.